back to Comedy or Worse. I'm here with a very special guest,
Chrissy Castriota.
Yay! So how are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing pretty well. Especially like after yesterday's bummer weather, it's like nice to have another regular San Diego day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
Cool. So did you grow up in San Diego or?
Oh, I sure did not. My accent has definitely faded, but I'm from the South. I grew up in Florida on a farm and then spent the majority of my life in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah. And I came out here to San Diego about 2 years ago for work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it worked out really well. Except that they closed the office and then they let me go. So, I know, right? Yeah, they moved me out here and then 14 months later they like closed the whole thing down.
Oh my goodness, that's awful.
Yeah, well, if you're going to be unemployed, you better be in San Diego. So, no complaints.
Sure, makes sense. So do you use a stage name at all? Or?
No, that's my name, Chrissy Castriota. I thought about it because my last name's like a lot of vowels and it's kind of hard to look at. But it is very phonetic, like it's pronounced exactly how you spell it. It's just a long word.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I would change it to, even if I had to.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. The possibilities are endless, and then that becomes overwhelming.
Yeah, that's too much. I don't need more choices. No. Do you use a stage name?
No.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I don't use my middle name, so I guess.
Yeah.
So sort of.
What is your middle name?
It's Emery. I don't know why I would use it. Although I did, when I first changed my handles online, I changed it to Comedian AET, and then I'm like, oh wait, so now should I use? And then I like had someone introduce me one time, and I'm like, no, this doesn't seem right.
Yeah, you don't need it. That's not like a lot of Aaron Traegers around.
Trahan. Yeah.
Yep, I can read.
No.
I'm thinking we just bought a Traeger grill.
Oh, well, not that rich.
Listen, I'll send you the website. We got a good deal.
Sure, thank you. I appreciate you thinking that I have money to buy a grill.
Anytime.
So how did you get into comedy?
It's interesting. It's something that I always was pretty interested in. I think secretly, like I never really told anyone. It was on my list of things to do before I was 30, and then 30 came and went, and I didn't do it. And then
that's exactly the problem about setting those
goals.
Things. We should like set it to tomorrow. I'm going to start comedy.
Yeah,
that's really what you should do.
Right? Yeah, I
not like like a New Year's resolution or an age or something like that's silly.
Yeah, I don't believe in resolutions. I don't care for those. That being said, I definitely set a rule for myself and didn't do anything on my before 30 list. And like, life just happens. Yeah. And then COVID happened and I completely ripped my life up and started over. Went back to school, got an MBA, which I'm currently not using. And it was actually the day that I got let go from that job here in San Diego last year. I don't want to say broke, because it wasn't like I didn't like have a huge breakdown, but it was like, I'm 35. If I want to do something, I should do it. And literally within an hour of losing my job, I was online looking up stand-up comedy classes. That's
exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect.
Yeah. As it was like, I'm not getting any younger. My obstetrician says that my uterus is geriatric. Like, if it's happening, we have to do it now. And what else do I have to There's literally no excuse. I'm not bogged down with work anymore.
Sure.
So I took a class at National Comedy Theater with Lisa Gilbert, who I call my comedy mother, whether she likes it or not. And man, it was great. Like, the class itself was really a nice thing to hold accountability. And then the first time stepping on stage and actually doing it, I was like, let me back on. I'm obviously out of material. Like, I loved that feeling. I loved the experience, and I have been chasing that high ever since.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So has it ever gotten better, or?
Yeah. There's been a couple
the high,
times.
not your comedy.
I guess it depends on who you ask. Yeah. It's been highs and lows. I mean, like sometimes you get up there and it feels great, and then other times you're like, I would love to dig a hole and get in it. Sure. But a couple times it has been that incredible, and it's starting to be more frequent that like I feel great when I get off stage. I think that I'm particularly hard on myself a lot. I record everything and I'll watch it back, and kind of what I've learned is like immediately after a set is over, I always feel like it's worse than it actually was, and then I go back and watch it. I'm like, okay, well that wasn't too bad. It just wasn't like the time I did it this one time, which is always, the audience is always going to vary.
Yeah, the laughs are always going to be lower unless you're micing the audience.
Yeah, that's true. I try to. I don't do it every time, but I have this like little portable 2-channel mic, and so I have one. I mean, it's hard to pick a spot because like if I put it at a table that I'm at and I have this one friend with a very loud laugh, I'm going to get messed up. Gonna get messed up data. Right. And she laughs at everything, and her laugh is very loud, and I love having her at my shows. So yeah, like you said, it'll definitely vary, just like the sound in the room. But the feeling, I like can't trust my own feeling of when I'm on stage, because I'll feel like it's going so much worse, and then I watch it back and I'm like, oh no, they were into it. I'm just being an asshole to myself.
Yeah, you got to look at their faces. Are they looking at their phone, or are they engaged? Are they smiling or quietly laughing?
Yeah.
Or they're covering their face.
Mm-hmm.
That's the worst.
Well, in the setting, what I've realized is I don't think that I do quite as well in like a bar setting. Like breweries have been pretty good. I've had great experiences at breweries around town. But there's just something like, there's like a small line that differentiates like a brewery vibe and like a bar vibe. Sure. And I tend to be like a pretty clean comic so far. I mean, I'm still fetal basically, so who knows what I'll be in a couple months. Yeah. But I tend to do a little bit better in like a calmer, less rowdy vibe. Sure. I think.
Makes sense. So how long have you been doing comedy then?
We're on month 6 now.
Wow.
But I've tried to make sure that I'm on stage at least once a week. So whether that's open mics or, little shows here and there, try to make sure that I'm keeping up with it.
I would advise more than once a week. Once a week isn't gonna get you better.
And I wish that I could do more than once. Sometimes it is, but that's like my bare minimum. But I don't have a car. So sometimes it's like, I would love to get out to this place, but I would have to take a lift. And so it's kind of balancing I'm unemployed.
You're not close to like the bus system?
I think I am close to the bus system.
I would suggest, also like when I didn't have a car, I would like get to the first mic. Yeah. And then ask for a ride to the second mic.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Honestly, I mean,
maybe at the end you'll have to take one lift home.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could probably stand to make more friends with other comics in town to kind of like learn things like that, like what you just said, on top of like, hey, can I have a ride to this place if you're going over here next?
Yeah, I mean, it's not always going to work.
Yeah.
But, I've just, all my life, I've had periods of time not having a car, so I just kind of have those skills, Yeah. And then you can always just fall back on to the lift or whatever.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you should. I'd love to feature you at Quantum Brewing. It's a brewery.
Hey, I love a brewery. That's great. Yeah, I'd love that.
So,
thank you.
You're welcome. What is your writing process for comedy?
Oh, the writing process. I try to write every day. Doesn't happen every day, but I try. It honestly, I feel like most of the time if I sit down and I try to force it, nothing great happens, but at least you're there. I mean, great, like nothing even neutral happens. I find myself a lot having conversations with people and seeing how they react in a one-on-one setting, and then making that mental note or putting the note in my phone of like, hey, maybe there's something here.
Sure.
I'll tell this story. That seems to be something that's interesting. And then maybe try and play with that later in the week.
Right.
But yeah, I don't even know if that's like the right way to do it, because I think it's more about, I think maybe I just kind of lean more towards storytelling with the occasional joke or misdirection into it. So maybe that's why. But I have been getting into a couple different like stand-up theories lately that are really fun to play with, and I'm like tearing down jokes and rewriting them. Like, like the idea that, horror and comedy are pretty close together, and how can I rework certain bits of mine to be more suspenseful and to have it feel like a horror film instead of like a slapstick thing. So I've been playing with that a lot recently. I don't know if I've really been doing it long enough to have a set.
Sure. I mean, yeah, the writing process can change over time.
Yeah.
Or sometimes, like for me, like I have several. It's fun to like go up there with just an idea of what you want to do, and just kind of try to write on stage.
Yeah.
Or like sometimes I'll like I'm going to do these jokes, and knowing it's not going to be 3 minutes long, and then just leave the end part to like riff or be in the moment. Trying to be more in the moment.
Yeah.
Like make each performance unique. Like look around, like, oh, is there anything I can observe?
At what point do you think you started doing that?
I guess years in. Well, I mean, like there's things that I noticed that comics will give you like feedback, and you have to like adapt it to yourself. It was like, they're like, I was like, oh, they're not laughing, and they're like, well, yeah, because they don't know when to laugh. So then I started just kind of like letting them know it's okay to laugh by like having this silly like laugh myself or something, to like let the audience know.
Yeah. Let them know it's okay. It's time now.
So, yeah, like it's hard to even just do that off stage, because it's almost like part of the defense mechanism built in,
Yeah.
I'm trying to like think of a really hard thing is like, oh, can I come up with another way of letting people know that it's okay to laugh? It's time to laugh. Or whatever. And
yeah.
I don't know if I can. It's too ingrained now.
It's that like that tension, that building, releasing, and like trying to really, I've been trying to pay attention a lot to that type of thing.
Yeah, if you're in the moment, and people like this one comic, like it was a newer comic, it's like, oh, I love how you just keep going no matter how it's doing, and I'm like, that's not a compliment.
Well, I think maybe like,
I mean, sometimes I can win them over, but
yeah, I mean, I think
like
that
you have to address that they're not laughing at stuff that you're expecting them to laugh at.
It's interesting that you say that, because I mean, there's a fine line of reading the room and kind of adjusting your material, but what I've noticed a lot is, especially in smaller rooms, like not clubs. Actually, I take that all back. Anyways, not preferencing with anything. I've noticed that there are a lot of, it's very common for comics to be like, oh, well, you didn't like that. I don't like, okay, well, let's see, what do you guys want to hear about today? And I don't know what it is. I don't like it when the fourth wall is broken. Like if it's crowd work, that's okay, But if it's like during the set, I don't know. Maybe that's something like within me. Maybe that's something I need to talk to my therapist about.
Yeah.
But I don't mind, like, keep going. Like, I don't think you need to stop the set to be like, well, what do you guys like?
I don't like exactly addressing it that way. I mean, I guess I kind of said things like that. But it's like, like, for example, at the end, like, people would say, oh, give it up for the host. And early on, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I said, give it up for toast. And no one ever got it. So then I just stopped doing it. It was just for me.
Yeah.
just
But that's kind of like one of the fun things about stand-up is like, when you're up there, you have the power. You have the microphone. You can say whatever you want. If you think that's funny, you can say it all day long.
Right. Yeah.
And that's like incredible. What other part of life do you have that much?
Yeah, and to get immediate feedback.
Yeah.
You don't, and it's like, it's real, right? It's not a laughing emoji or a heart on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that mean? You should reply with your genuine reaction.
Yeah.
Which would be hard, right? Because you're not recording yourself all the time. You shouldn't be. Cool. All right. So, who's the funniest person in your life right now?
Oh Lord. God, I have a lot of funny friends, but a lot of it is just the way that we vibe off of each other.
Sure.
I tend to be someone with very close friends. Like, I may not have a ton of friends, but the handful that I do have, it's insanely tight. And so there's like a timing and there's a back and forth and an understanding that I really enjoy. But a specific person, probably right now, maybe my partner Ray, who he probably doesn't think he's funny. Honestly, most people probably don't think he's funny.
Okay.
And he's not intentionally. Like, he doesn't crack a lot of jokes. Yeah. He does with me because we're very close, obviously.
Sure.
But he doesn't let a lot of people in on that part of him.
Right.
It takes a long time to get him to do like the little improv-y bits and to crack the jokes. So when they do happen, maybe it's just like a scarcity thing and it's not even a funny joke. Just like anytime he tries to be funny, I think it's absolutely hilarious because he's usually just so serious.
That's great.
And a lot of what he does is just like situationally odd and a little bit off. And I talk about him in my stand-up quite a bit because he's from Burma, but he's been in America for over-ish 30 years now, somewhere around 30 years. So he doesn't have an accent. He presents as American, but every once in a while something happens that it's like, are you an alien? Are you from here? I have a bit about this. I had to explain to him who Dolly Parton was and who Anne Frank was, which is like, this is an adult American male in his 30s who doesn't know who Anne Frank is.
They didn't teach it?
He says that he kind of remembers, but he didn't have the name connected to the person.
Okay.
And so it's that type of thing of that brings me so much joy to be like, come here, adult male. Let me sit you down. Let me tell you who Dolly Parton is.
Did you watch any of the movies?
No, he's I think it's that immigrant mindset where, you have to work really hard and, they maybe didn't grow up with all of the resources that the average other American did.
Sure.
So there's a lot of cultural things, especially pre-2000, that I have to catch him up on. And that is very funny to me in a loving way. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing with him. I believe he's laughing. I don't check.
That's super cool. All right, I asked this question for everybody. I don't always know what the answer is myself, but when did we meet?
When did we meet?
Yeah.
Oh, we met last week at, where were we? We were at an open mic at the Comedy Store. We were at the Comedy Store.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Time is hard.
It's not always that last week. That's crazy.
I know, it's literally last week.
It feels like a month ago already.
Dude, it really does.
I was
God.
just thinking of that. I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to call today. I think I did last week.
Time is all made up.
That was the same week.
It is a social, it's a social construct. It's made up.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I mean, even though it's a social construct, I think it helps people that are alive. Things that are alive.
I certainly hope so.
Because other animals seem to have a concept of time.
Yeah.
Although I think they feel the slowing down and speeding up even more than us. But maybe that's just mine.
Yeah. I think it's weird because as we get older, like if you think about being in high school, those 4 years felt like forever, right? Like at least they did for me. I didn't graduate high school and think, God, that was a short amount of time. And now I think, where was I 4 years ago? And it feels like it flew by.
Yeah.
And it, especially now, having my schedule be all wonky and out of whack. Like I never know. Every day feels like 3 days, but also feels like 2 minutes. It's wild.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. So have you ever traveled to do comedy?
I've tried. Not for lack of trying. Anytime I travel, I'll try to do some open mics. I've hit up a couple spots. I go to Miami in next week, 2 weeks. I'm going to try there.
Wow.
But it's tough.
So why do you get to go to Miami?
Oh, it's my best friend's bachelorette party.
Oh, okay.
Which is going to be very chill, for the record. I feel like Miami's like a wild place to go for a bachelorette party.
Sure.
That's not us. I hope it's not us. I'm not prepared if that's us.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I've tried, but nothing yet. We'll get there.
All right, cool. Do you have any hobbies or passions that aren't related to comedy?
So many. I have ADHD.
Did you diagnose yourself?
No, I had a real doctor.
Oh, okay.
A real one. And OCD. Like a real doctor said, this is what you have. And I said, that makes sense.
Sure. Did they help you deal with it?
They did, actually. It was kind of one of those wild things where I just thought everybody's brain worked like this. I thought everybody had like little quirks and idiosyncrasies. And they don't. I mean, like a lot of people do, because OCD in some ways is just like really heightened anxiety, like different things you do to cope with your anxiety. So a lot of people do experience it, but I have ruminating OCD, so it's like I repeat things, which I think sometimes can be good for comedy if I can get the right thing to repeat. Sure. And then I'm like really hammering it home. But sometimes it's not nice things. So I got like an actual diagnosis, and it totally changed my world. Like, to be honest with you, like I just broke down crying when I got the diagnosis because I was just like so happy that we've identified like what was going wrong and that we can fix it. So I've done a lot of work. It's probably been 10 years since I've got the diagnoses. Okay. And for the most part, like it's very under control. But a fun side effect of ADHD is like, I like everything. Like there is value in everything. If someone is talking to me about their boring ass hobby, but they're stoked on it, I can get into it, and I'll probably spend too much money the next day trying to get into it to like do that thing with them. Like I do a lot of ceramics. I've been doing that quite a bit.
Okay.
I do I have a little pottery wheel on my patio, and I do hand building.
Okay. So there are some things that you stick with.
There's definitely a couple things that I stick with, but there's also like a whole drawer in my house of the crafts that I did for a week. And then never touched again. That exists. But I do still do ceramics. It's been like 2 years now, and I do it every day. And I think it's really good for people who fidget a lot or like have that ADHD or no OCD. So, you need to do something with your hands. Ceramics is a really nice thing. You feel like you're getting in the dirt, you're getting in the mud, you're part of the earth, and you're also making something kind of out of nothing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I have a little kiln on my back patio, so I can make anything that is 3 by 5 inches or smaller. It's a very small kiln, teeny tiny. But I don't want to start a fire. It's California.
Sure.
What else? Oh, and I surf like 1 to 3 times a week.
Wow.
I've gotten into that. I'm not very good.
Okay.
But
Just
it's
don't drown. You'll be fine.
honestly, that's the goal most days. Is just stay above water a little bit. It's been incredible. I'm in like a WhatsApp group of a couple dozen women around my age, and
Nice.
we just go like 1 to 3 times a week. And sometimes I don't catch a wave, but like I've never regretted getting out there. So I would say ceramics and surfing are probably my two biggest hobbies. Ooh, and houseplants. I love plants and gardens.
Wow. Sweet. Nice. So how far away from the ocean do you live?
Probably like 2 miles.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, definitely not walking or biking. But
What are you talking about?
well,
I'm not gonna walk 2 miles
with a board.
with a board.
I can't walk with a board. It's got a big board. See,
You should put wheels on it.
I could put wheels on
You
it.
could put wheels on, or like you could have it like have an attachment.
That is true. I could. I'm gonna Google that. I don't need more things to buy.
Oh, that's true. Darn it.
Remember, we just got that grill. I don't need more things
Oh,
to
the
buy.
grill has wheels.
I could take the grill to the beach.
You just
Put the board on the grill. It is like a large flat top one.
and you just roll
Yeah,
it.
it's like that flat top Traeger. It's real good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think we solved this.
You're right. I've already spent the money. Done. You'll see me like walking through downtown like a homeless person.
The
just,
grill.
just like a really nice
Surfboard.
grill and a beat up surfboard. Yeah, it's me.
That's cool. That sounds like a good. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. So, do you wish you started comedy earlier?
Oh man, yeah. Yes, and no. I don't know if I would have had enough to say
All right.
if I had gone any earlier. I don't even know if I have enough to say now, but it's all in good timing, I think. I think I would have liked the stage experience, trying to get that 10,000 hours. But I don't know what I would have talked about. I don't know what I was doing in my 20s. I was like working a lot.
Okay.
So I couldn't have done it. I used to tour with music acts, bands and stuff.
Oh wow.
I was gone 8-9 months out of the year. So even if I did try to do stand-up comedy before then, there literally would have been no time.
I mean, you could have just kept finding open mics close to where you were at.
Well, I was working, so I couldn't go.
Working at night?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it would be like, I know. So like when you go to a concert and I was either a tour manager or a merchandise manager. So my peak, I was working from like 8 a.m. to whenever.
Just let them ask them if you could do comedy in between the bands.
You know what? I should have done that. You're
It would
right.
have been super hard.
I've wasted at least 10 years of my life. Thank
It
you.
would have been so much
Yeah.
growth potential.
So much. The audiences would have been very confused.
Wait, is that the lady running around keeping
It
this
is.
place going?
It is.
And now she's coming up here and telling jokes?
Well, oddly enough, they would say most of that anyways. But
Oh.
I mean, and I would turn like when I sold merchandise and I was the person behind the booth.
Okay.
I mean, everything was a bit. I turned everything into a joke. I had my script, like I was hawking items, and everything was.
All right.
So I feel like maybe in a way, I was kind of preparing myself for that type of mentality.
great.
But
It's good to hear. That's awesome.
I've tried to turn every job I've had into being like a cruise director, which I think has lots of like little kitschy
Yeah.
aspects to it. So hopefully that's helped me get a leg up
Sure.
in some way. We'll find out.
Yeah. Okay. So what are your goals in comedy right now?
God, I'd love to do it full time. I would. And I don't know what that means.
Right.
I don't
There
like.
we go.
Should I have a more specific goal than that?
It
Like,
just depends. You can have short-term goals, long-term goals.
yeah, I've got a list of short-term goals by the end of the year or within a year. I'd love to get on a comedy festival. I know that I'm nowhere near that right now, but hey, might as well write it down. I being on a podcast was one of my goals, so thank you very much, Aaron.
Yay.
I
start your own podcast?
I've thought about it. I am doing some.
Pretty easy.
Yeah. Who knew? We're everywhere. I've got a couple little short-term goals here and there. I'd love to get a solid 30 minutes by the end of the year, preferably by the summer, but more realistically, end of the year. But yeah, I would love to get to a point where this is my full-time job. Whatever that looks like, I'm great with it. I say that now.
All right, cool. So what is your favorite joke? It could be anybody's joke.
Ooh, anybody's joke. Oh man, that's so hard. Okay, I'm going to answer with two answers. So my favorite joke that I do, I get to talk about Dolly Parton in one of my bits. And I love Dolly Parton. She's my everything, and I think that's because I'm from Tennessee. So that it's always a good time when I get to pull out that bit. Somebody else had a really great, and I feel like it's such like a one-off. It's not even like a powerful observation or anything that hit home. God, I can't even remember it. I want to do it justice. I don't even remember. Tavares Smith, I think, is the one who did it. He said that. No, I'm gonna blow it. It's something about like San Diego being Mexico, Hawaii, something. There was a joke in there with a J making an H noise. I'm so sorry, Tavares. I'm so sorry.
I'm sure he forgives you.
And I think he made it so off the cuff. I opened up for him at Comedy Heights a bit ago, and it's not even like one of his main things. And it's fine. I thought it was very funny.
That's cool. All right. So do you have like a favorite fan interaction? Either someone was a fan of you or you were a fan of someone else.
Oh. Does it have to be in comedy?
No.
Oh, boy. One time I met I think it was the banjo player of Old Crow Medicine Show at the Ryman in Nashville. I was working for some artist that opened for them. I don't even remember who it was. It doesn't matter. And I met him after the stage or after the show, coming off stage. And it was like way after. It wasn't like immediately like the show had ended. Like we were walking out of the building and he shook my hand and I was like, oh man, you got really soft hands. Whatever you're doing, keep it up. And I don't even know why I said that. I think about it all the time. And he just looked at me real confused. And because we both knew what I had said. And I don't know why I said it. And I was like, well, good night. So I don't know if that's my favorite interaction, but that is, for some reason, I think about it probably like every fifth time I go to bed and I close my eyes. And I'm like, remember that time that you talked about how soft the hands were of the banjo player of Old Crow Medicine Show? You creep.
So I'm taking it you haven't done that again to someone else.
Absolutely not. No.
That's good.
No. Definitely not.
That's good. But there's so many mistakes you could make, so it's hard to just go by what you shouldn't do based on past experience.
Yeah, but I'm definitely that type of person. Like if you do something embarrassing, or if I do something embarrassing, I'm gonna think about it till I die. I'm gonna be on my deathbed and I'm gonna close my eyes and it's gonna be like, you remember that one time you handed the wrong card to the woman at the Kroger checkout? And she said, ma'am, I need your Kroger Plus card. And you said, here it is, and it's your library card. And you just go back and forth, and on the fifth time you realize you've handed her the wrong. I think about it all the time, and it was 15 years ago.
Huh.
So, yeah. Anyways, I could probably get cooler, better.
No, I think you should write a book, and people would be so impressed with all the things you remember about your life.
Everything embarrassing that I've ever done. These are the things that keep me up at night.
It's a coffee table book.
Oh God, I really could.
With artist renditions of the scene.
Yeah. Ooh, and I could draw them. I'm not a very good artist, but that could be the fun. That's the charm.
As long as you convey the idea.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good thing we're recording this, so I don't have to take notes.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know if I should have like any better Nobody's ever recognized me or anything. I mean, people just say like, good set, and then they leave. And I love that. I'll take that.
Sure. Well, don't worry. You have plenty of time.
Here's hoping.
Well, even if you quit comedy today, people 6 months from now will be like, oh, didn't you do comedy? You did good.
I did have
They won't even know you stopped. They'll just know.
That's true.
They'll just know that
They'll never know.
It.
My mom forgot that I did this, which is fun. Also, that's another story. I did recently have a video on TikTok go viral. Not like actual viral for normal people, but for me, who usually gets like 1,000 views per video.
Wait, you're getting 1,000 views? Damn it. I gotta do better.
I mean, I used to work in social media marketing, so I feel bad that I like can't grow it any more than that, because I'm like, this is what I do. Like and data analytics of marketing, this is what I do. Why can't I grow? And I know why.
Do you find it fun?
It's no. Yes and no.
Okay.
I think it's more fun when it's for me.
There you go.
But my bank account thinks it's more fun when it's for other people.
Sure.
But yeah, my TikTok channel is growing. It's experienced a boost this past week. I posted a video of a like off the cuff little bit about a hardcore band that I used to listen to, and it got 55,000 views.
Wow.
And over 400. It like exploded. There is this whole world of like untapped, like white dudes with beards and tattoos who listen to hardcore music who like stand up. And I just, for a brief moment, touched that group of people. Now I'm like...
Did you use the right hashtags or just...
honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how the algorithm worked me towards this group of people who clearly need attention. And they don't have, like... I think it referenced a very niche band that broke up 13, 14 years ago. And people loved that band, myself included.
Yeah,
and
still wanted to come back, and they just keep searching for.
Honestly,
they find your video, like yes.
Yeah, I think that it was like people on TikTok who are super into hardcore and post-hardcore music. There's not a lot of content.
Sing one of their songs.
Oh, I can't. They don't sing. They scream.
Well, that's the joke.
Oh, yes. It's kind of, even the lead singer of the band, somebody sent it to him and he commented on it.
No way.
We had a back and forth. I was losing my mind.
Wow, that's super cool.
I was like, I'm going to throw up.
That's not your favorite fan interaction?
I don't know if that counts. Maybe it is. I should say that instead of that time that I made a reference to the bass player of Madhouse. You're right. That's much better.
Like a good pause.
Yeah. I had a nice little back and forth with the singer of the Chariot. And it was wild.
Yeah.
It was great. It was very affirming.
Did you ask them if they're getting back together?
Nope. No, I didn't. He said something.
Probably the best.
Honestly, yeah. I don't think any of us would survive if they got back together. You should look up some of their videos. I went to their last show ever in Douglasville, Georgia, I think. Wow. And I'm shocked that any of us are still alive. It was like people hanging from the rafters, like the I-beams in the ceiling. Wow. They were playing so hard they were like throwing up. There was blood everywhere. I'm shocked.
I didn't know you could play so hard you threw up.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
There was one show I saw where somebody got hit in the head with a guitar, or maybe it was a bass guitar. I don't know. Someone got hit in the head with an instrument and they just like passed out and there's like blood because head wounds bleed a lot.
Sure.
This is a podcast about the Chariot now.
No, it's about comedy in your life.
And they just like get up and start playing whenever they wake up. So it's like that's the vibe. So I would love it if they would come back, but I'd have to make sure that I have really good health insurance when that happens.
Sure.
Yep.
Exactly. All right, sounds good. So what's your favorite place to do comedy?
Gosh, any place.
Nice.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe your new favorite place will be here, the Madhouse Comedy.
I need to. I absolutely need to.
Monday, Tuesdays, it starts at 8.
What about every other day of the week?
Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, it starts at 10. And then Friday, Saturday probably starts like at midnight.
Cool. I like how you gave me the days of the earlier ones because I am an earlier person.
It's just nice to like group them together in some kind of order.
Yeah.
And like it's easier to say the times that it starts the same.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I do crazy things and say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday. It's different. Saturday's the same, and then Sunday's back.
It's just your world. We're living in it.
I guess. Wait, what?
It's just your timeline. We're living in it.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, but I like Comedy Heights a lot. I love that that vibe.
I get booked on shows. Damn.
Yeah, I do a lot of Comedy Heights. I do a lot of opening for it, although I just moved up to feature in May. I'll have my first like more than 3-4 minute set. Oh, I sure will.
Get on there.
But it's like such a cool thing. Like for 20 years, it's like $5 at the door. It's like almost always a packed house unless it's raining.
Sure.
You know, it's a really nice community vibe, and I appreciate that about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. So what was your family life growing up?
Oh boy. I talk about it sometimes on stage. I haven't in a while. I grew up on a farm. My mom was a horse trainer. My dad was a Marine for 30-something years. And I have an older brother who's kind of like the golden child of our Italian-American farm family.
Okay.
So I feel like that kind of explains why I'm a mid-30s woman with purple hair and no job.
Your hair's purple?
Oh, it is. It's just a little dark here. It's also, I've been lazy. It was good. I mean, I loved growing up on a farm, but there were definitely some tough moments. You know, my parents were very no nonsense, but at the same time, it was a lot of, you know, we'll ring the bell and then you can come in. Spent a lot of time like walking around outside or like playing with chickens or cows or we in Orange Grove.
Sure.
Our nearest neighbor was like, I don't know, a mile away. I have no idea. If my sense of time is bad, my sense of distance is probably worse. And it was a small town. It was Newport Richey, Florida. Like at the time was relatively agricultural or like retirees. Yeah. Now it's all developed. It's basically a suburb of Tampa. But it was really nice. I really enjoyed my childhood. But it was definitely rigid at times.
Okay.
But my mom is a real character, and I get to talk about her on stage here and there with her permission.
Do you ever try to do her as a character on stage?
Lord, not yet. I feel like I kind of do in some ways because I look just like her. Wow. Like our faces are identical, like copy paste. But she is always in heels. Like something happened with her calf muscles where she can't wear flat shoes anymore. It has to have some like.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like
she's wild. Okay, like she's in the NRA, card carrying. She's a better shot than my dad, who was a Marine for 3 decades. She's got bleached blonde hair, always in heels. She's wild, and she's a very fun character. So I think in a lot of ways, like she's just very eccentric.
Yeah.
But she doesn't have a strong accent. She doesn't like. There's no caricature that I can really do of her, other than just find different ways to tell stories of things that she's done.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what is your earliest memory?
Ooh-wee. Memories are a funny thing.
Yeah.
Because like, what do you actually remember, and what do you like? You hear stories so much that you create
like
the memories.
Picture.
Right. So I was born in Pittsburgh, but we didn't live there for very long. And I think that I have memories from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I think I remember one time I like didn't want to go to bed, which is hilarious to me because now all I ever want to do is go to bed. And I like took my pajamas off and like threw them at a ceiling fan and they got stuck. And then my mom was mad at me because she couldn't reach it.
Not even in heels?
No, I guess not. I don't know. I mean, in my head, you know, it was like 50 feet above me, even though I know it wasn't. So probably that. Got into a lot of shenanigans. I think it was like normal for a toddler. I don't think it was like abnormal shenanigans.
Right.
My brother and I were like playing some sort of cat and mouse game, and you remember those like backpacks with the little leashes on them, so that like your kid would wear the backpack and then your parent had the leash and they couldn't, which for some reason we've stopped doing.
I remember seeing them.
I don't know at what point in time did this become taboo for parenting. I feel like in the 2000s it suddenly was like, that's bad parenting, just control your kids. That was an amazing invention. And I really feel like we need to bring it back. I was raised on them, so I had mine.
Sure.
And my brother was running from me, and I think he had it, or I don't know, somebody had the backpack. The leash got stuck in the door in such a way that locked him in his bedroom. Like, we couldn't open the door.
Wow.
Like, it was, my brother was, and he's like crying and wailing because he's probably like 4, I don't know, and he thinks he's gonna die in there. We're never gonna get him out. And I think this is the funniest thing ever, because all he does is torture me and pour pepper in my hair. And so this is finally, I get him back. He's stuck and he's gonna die in his bedroom.
Why would you pour pepper on your hair?
I don't know, man. Older brothers. Do you have an older brother?
No, I don't have any brothers.
Oh yeah, they're dicks. He's cool now. We talk all the time. He's one of my closest friends.
All right.
Love you, Alex. But you deserved it. So he's like stuck in this room, and I'm like shoving M&Ms under the door because eventually I feel bad. And then so me and my mom are shoving M&Ms to keep him from crying, and we have to wait for, I don't know where my dad was, probably at work. Someone came over and like took the door off the hinges. It was this whole big rigmarole. So that something in that area, because I think those happened in the same part of the house, and those two memories are kind of like mashed together for me.
Okay, nice, cool. Let's see. So talk about pottery. That's definitely other art. So what do you think the biggest audience that you perform for?
Doing comedy,
Yeah.
probably about 100.
Nice.
Yeah, that feels about safe to say. I don't think I've done any rooms that were above 100 cap.
All right.
So
Cool. Let's see. Have you ever won a comedy contest or anything like that?
no, but not for lack of trying. I've only entered one, and it was like within 2 months of doing this,
Right.
and I just did it because I wanted the feedback.
Sure.
Like, I am not under any magical spell thinking that I like could have had a chance.
Right.
So yeah, I started getting the experiences, but nope, haven't won anything. I've entered a few little ones.
All right.
But we'll get there. That's on the list. Hopefully within the year, I'll get something there.
Yeah. Cool. So what is your best booking story?
Best booking story. Well, I don't know if this counts, but I was hanging out. This was at Comedy Heights, like maybe a couple weeks ago, and one of the other guys I was performing with also produces shows around town, and he asked me if I wanted to do a queer showcase, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'm not gay. Is that okay? I'll still do it." And he was like, "Oh, no, you can't. If you're not gay, then you can't do it." I was like, "Okay, well."
So close. Shouldn't have brought it up.
I was like, I should have just said yes.
Yeah.
So that was pretty fun for me. Everything else has been like very normal, you know, like you just like meet people and you make friends and then you text them and you're like, "You booking out May yet?" And it's been like very run-of-the-mill normal stuff. But that being assumed to be gay or bi is always going to make me giggle.
Sure.
But if I was, it would be okay. For the record, I'm just not.
It would be the best because she'd be the best at it.
Yeah, I would have twice the audience. But no.
Cool. Let's see. So what's the worst thing about comedy right now?
Oh boy. I feel like it's crowd work, and I don't mean that of like everything. I think that coming from a marketing social media mindset background of like the videos that get traction and go viral, all the things that you want your socials to do, it's crowd work. And I think it has kind of given way to this growth of comedians who only do crowd work, which is like, that's a skill and that is entertaining, but that's improv. Like, do you have anything prepared to say? Do you have any observations? Do you have any insights? Sure. So it's kind of a double-edged sword of like, I enjoy watching crowd work, but I will raise an eyebrow if someone can only do crowd work.
Sure.
Which I feel like is increasing, right? Or I don't know. How do you feel about it?
The crowd work is bad when you get audiences that think that they should heckle because they want to be part of the viral process.
Yeah.
So that's not good. But if you watch someone that does crowd work and you see them several times, you realize, oh, this is just a decision tree.
Yeah.
They have stuff worked out on what to say, either ahead of time or they've just been doing it enough. Oh, if they say doctor, then I do this, or
yeah. It's almost like those like fake mediums and people who like talk to ghosts and stuff. Exactly. Like, oh, I'm thinking of a name with a J. Who knows someone who's died recently with a J name? And then, the decision tree thing, But there's just so many online that all they do is post crowd work material, and you'll go to their page and there's not a single set of actual, like, there's no jokes.
Right, people don't want to burn material.
Which I get, but I don't know. I think it's going to do a weird... I wonder how long that trend is going to last, and if it's going to do a weird thing to, like, the next generation of stand-up comics.
It's already doing all kinds of things. I think, like, people that have a big following, and then they try to do clubs, and they bring some people, and then the show is bad.
Yeah.
You already seen repercussions of that. But there's other things to do. Like, I've been trying to like be more in the moment. It's kind of like crowd work, but it's not exactly, because you can interact with them without having them have to say anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're in the moment and you're being observant, and you don't have to ask them any questions, you could just make a comment, or maybe like just a quick little one sentence or one word thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, did you just come from a funeral? And it would be like yes or no, or
yeah, or like
they're dressed all in black and it's funny or whatever.
Or using it as a setup to something.
Right.
As opposed to like, this is just 30 minutes of you talking to people, which yes, I am entertained, but like if that's, which I guess is fine if you're at a bar, you didn't pay or something. But I feel like if I find a comedian online, and I found them because their videos keep coming up on my algorithm, and I think they're funny and they're doing a lot of crowd work, and then I go see them assuming that there's also going to be like other material, I think I'd be bummed.
Right. Yeah, for sure. And another thing is Andy Whiskey, that her episode just released Comedy or Worse, but I saw her, I didn't read the article yet, but a post about what to do, and she's suggested like doing expirable jokes and posting that.
What does that mean?
Something in the news going on.
Oh yeah. Okay, like current event stuff.
Expired.
Yeah.
It's like, I think people have done that before, but it's a good reminder that that's also available, not just crowd work.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's great. I don't know. Not that I'm the authority on anything, but for some reason, it's just really like, I don't know, like why it bums me out when people are like only, like all they do is like, what do you do for work? And I'm like, come on, you got all this stage time. Don't you have anything to say?
Exactly. Yep. So do you enjoy watching other people work on jokes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's a great time. I need to start going to more shows in person, for sure.
Have you been, what about workshops? Have you gone to like any joke writing workshops?
I've gone to a couple. Mic Drop does them here and there. I've gone to 2 of those. They went by really quickly, which I think is why
I started one on Saturdays.
You did?
It's gonna be, well, I had done it before and then I stopped and now it's back. Comedy Wars writing workshop on Saturdays from 4:30 to 6 at Quantum Brewing, and then at 6:30 the open mic starts.
So how does that work? Do you like come with your joke prepared, or?
Yeah, you come with a joke prepared, and then each person says their, just doesn't have to tell it like they would on stage. They just say it, and then people give feedback if they have any.
Yeah, and that's what I loved about the classes, is just that regular accountability and then getting the feedback. And there's also, there's so much value in analyzing other people's. I feel like I'm studying, like, how do other people craft jokes? How do they edit? How do they tear down, rebuild, trim the fat, deliver?
Geez, I feel like have I ever tore down a joke? I guess I have, but I wouldn't even remember. It's crazy.
I guess you don't need to. I guess that's what we learned today.
I need to.
If you've never torn one down, maybe you didn't need to.
Oh my god. I've set jokes aside and then came back and worked on them again or whatever. I don't know. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So let's see. Have you ever been in a car accident?
Not a major one. Just I got T-boned at an intersection in Nashville. But no, nothing super traumatic in the car. Knock on wood.
Sure.
It's pretty easy when you don't have a car.
Makes sense. So, do you have any merch?
No, but I've been thinking about doing stickers because it's like a real low cost, entry level, silly thing. But I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would make of them. I don't think I have like a iconic shtick yet. You know?
Website?
Nope, just socials.
You could even just have, what I thought of is, I support local comedy, and then a QR code that goes to your Instagram.
Oh, I like that.
Or whatever.
That's pretty good.
You can use it. I'm going to use it too. My QR code will go somewhere else.
Competing QR codes. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I really like that idea. But as my stickers is probably the first thing.
Yeah, it's hard when you have like merch and then you don't do the joke. It's like, oh, I forgot to do that joke. So
Yeah.
now, how am I going to sell this?
Yeah, and I don't know what I would. I talk a lot about being with an Asian immigrant and the joys of that, but also used to talk more about farm life and how quirky my mom is. But I don't know what would stick out. I do talk about Dolly Parton a lot, but then you enter like IP stuff and like, can I use her likeness? Can I, which I guess I'm giving them away. So as long as I don't charge money for them, then I can do that.
Donation, as long as.
I could donate to the Imagination Library. That's her
No,
nonprofit.
see people donate money
Yeah.
to get it, and then you're not selling it.
That's
the way
true.
around it.
But then I would feel bad, and then I would donate the money to Dolly Parton's nonprofit,
Oh, sure, there you go.
so more kids can read. So
Makes
maybe
sense.
that.
Absolutely. But use some of the money to pay for the stickers.
That is true. Yep, that is true.
You know,
We'll do net profit, not gross.
right, exactly.
I know what those words are. I went to business school. I have not said them in a long time.
Nice. So what did you get your degrees in?
So I have a MBA, and my concentrations were strategy, marketing, and operations and analytics. So I guess I could be really good at consulting. I do marketing consulting now, freelance on the side. So I do have like some contract gigs here and there, but would love a more stable job in the meantime. But I am also happy with, you know, the stuff that I've got going on now.
That's good. Cool. Let's see. So how do you feel about social media in general?
Oh boy, it's a complicated set of emotions.
Do you find yourself on there more than you want to be, or?
Yes and no. I think it's interesting because when I worked like a corporate social media job, I was on my personal stuff more. And now that I kind of am trying to be more minded of my comedy socials, I'm on it less. Like I never sign into my personal stuff. I didn't even have a TikTok. I had a ghost TikTok so that I could monitor stuff for work. But it's complicated. Like you want to have a healthy relationship with it. Like it is valuable. It can be this incredible thing that makes or breaks careers. People, you know, you can make a living on it. But at the same time, you have to remember that like it is the internet. It's not real. And you have to go outside and touch grass sometimes.
Right.
So I love it. But I want to be hyper aware of how it impacts me and my mental health and the amount of time and how I spend my time.
Sure.
Yeah. And the algorithm, especially TikTok, the algorithm is changing all the time and they're not like really public about it. So it's more like when professional analysts look at it and then they'll come out and they'll be like, hey, we've noticed this thing has changed. Start doing this instead of this. And as the algorithm grows and it gets better at its job, the way to interact on the platform, the way to post things, the way to write things, like the search engine optimization of writing your descriptions even kind of will change and shift over time.
Sure.
So you have to stay on top of trends and you also have to stay on top of like what the analysts are saying, which is crazy. Like who has time to like write the content, film the content, produce it, and also understand what's popular and trending and it's rising in trends, and then also keep in mind how the back end analytics are changing and shifting.
That's interesting. So wouldn't it be better if would it be better if the algorithm was like showing people what they were really into? So then it would be each person's algorithm would be so customized. It's hard to gain. It's hard to like find tricks because it's like we'll just make stuff that's generally appealing.
Yeah.
Then more people will, you know.
For the most part, that's kind of where we're at. Is everybody's like in their little silo where they're only getting the content that they're into. When it's learning about you, it will. I don't know if TikTok still does this, but they do have a history of they'll put kind of rage bait content in front of you that you don't like. And if you tell it, you can say, like, don't show me this again. But it didn't actually listen to you because that emotion of like being frustrated or that friction, especially when it's like political stuff, keeps you more engaged in the platform. If you have something that upsets you, you're going to watch more. So to a certain degree, you have this silo that is just the stuff that you're interested in, but every once in a while, you're going to get stuff that you hate because it wants to keep you engaged and it wants to keep you interested and commenting and engaging with other people on the platform.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta like post more on TikTok, but it's like a catch-22 because every time I open it, it's showing me a commercial right away.
Yeah. And some people find that their videos perform better if you are on the app scrolling like a normal user. You're commenting, you're liking, you're reposting, you're sharing it internally. Bonus points if you share it externally because they want you to bring outside people into the app. If you can engage with the app for like 15-ish minutes before and after your post, it'll actually push your post more. Now, I don't think that's confirmed. That's just what a lot of people talk about. I don't know if that is like don't think TikTok has like come out and said this is what we do. But a lot of people say like they find that they will be rewarded. And it's kind of brilliant if you're TikTok. They're very good. They're very good at what they do.
Yeah, because they don't want people like me just posting
right.
what they want other people to see and then leaving.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if there is some merit to that, because I started doing that in January. And my viewership did go up like 20% because I was on the app more as a regular user. So I don't know. But there's all sorts of like little tricks and stuff. Instagram is less sensitive, but what I've found is harder to break into, because people don't look at Reels as much on Instagram like they do the Reels type stuff on TikTok.
Right.
So
makes sense.
Yeah, if you ever have social questions, just let me know. I've been doing a lot of research.
Yeah, I got all kinds of questions. I have to put. Oh, I guess like on. I had this series called How to Ride a Unicycle and it first started on.
Wait, can you ride a unicycle?
Yeah.
What? Okay, this is cool. Sorry, go on.
So before I even decided that I was a comedian, I was posting every once in a while, or I don't know, sometimes it would be like 2 days in a row or whatever. I would post, the thing is, I never show you how to ride a unicycle.
Yeah.
Now that I've brought it back and it's on Instagram, and then I guess I started putting the videos on my other comedy YouTube channel. It's been everyone knows how to ride a unicycle, but not everyone knows how to ride a unicycle and do this other thing. So it'd show you how to get on your unicycle, ride it, and then now do this other thing.
Do you really think that everyone knows how to ride a unicycle?
That's the joke.
Okay, good. I was like, I just want to be clear. There's no way in hell I can do that. And now I'm like, does everyone know how to ride a unicycle? Is it just me? Because I have tried. It was dirt. I don't think that's unicycle friendly. We did have bikes. We would just go to a mailbox and back. There's nowhere else to go.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then I had to like when I decided, I gotta put this on my other YouTube channel, I scheduled them to go one a day. Mm-hmm. Now I gotta put them all on TikTok.
Yep.
And I'm like, what's the strategy? One a day? Put them all out at once?
TikTok wants you to do one a day.
One a day, okay.
I mean, I think most people would say there's so much content on there. Honestly, I feel like it's hard to exhaust anyone on TikTok. Whereas Instagram and Facebook, they say maybe once a day, 3 times a week. But TikTok it changes so quickly, and there's so much media that I think it would behoove you to do once a day. But who can do that? That's exhausting.
Well, I mean,
if you have all of them, then yeah, you should. And you can repost them. That's another thing a lot of these people don't talk about, is they just kind of slightly edit the video and they'll just repost it. And it gets more viewers because the algorithm has learned more about you and your content, and so it can push your stuff more.
So you slightly edit it and do it again.
Yeah. You just cut a second off. It could be that simple. You just shorten it a second. Add a little bit. Change the description slightly.
Add a theme song at the beginning.
Yeah. So it's shocking how much you can put out there. That's not new content necessarily. That's kind of at the point where I'm at when things get busy, or if there's a lot of stuff going on. And my goal is to post 3 to 5 times a week, which I usually hit 3. And sometimes I'm like, well, then that was that video that got 55,000 views for me. It was I just need something to post today. Here's literally 12 seconds of me talking about this hardcore band. It's not even prepared material. It was just whatever. And it just blew up. And so probably in a month, I will re-edit it somehow and put it back up and see what happens. I didn't never thought of
What about scheduling stuff? Do you schedule it, or you just have to do it?
I usually schedule my posts because I try to look up what are the most popular times.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like,
Oh yeah,
thinking about how to do it consistently. It's like, oh well, record more than one in a day or whatever, and then just schedule them.
Yeah, I just schedule them, and it'll vary by platform too. And you can look at your followers when they're most likely to be on the app, whether that's Instagram or Facebook or whatever. They'll all tell you when your followers are most active. But I don't have enough followers for that to really matter. I mean, I have a couple hundred on TikTok now, but that's like nothing. Like my views are getting like 10 times more views than followers. So it's kind of irrelevant. But
Sure.
you look up the best times to post, which are going to vary usually like weekend to weekday. I think Tuesdays and Thursdays are generally accepted to be the best days to post on TikTok. I forget what times. I've got like my whole in my office.
Okay.
I have a whole like EdCal of best days and times based on. So I'll do the same video and it'll go out on the same day, but it'll be like 2 p.m. on TikTok, 7 p.m. on Instagram.
Wow. All right.
And I just like set it whenever I finish the content, and then I just set it and leave, so I don't have to worry about it.
All right. So do you say things like, be sure to subscribe or follow for more content?
I should. I definitely should. I just don't. There's really no good reason why I don't. I don't know.
When you go back and edit, you could put that.
Maybe that's the change. I think it's a fine line too of like, are people real sick of that?
Right.
I don't want to burn anybody out. And I feel like you lose a little bit of authenticity, and maybe I'm just being too hard on myself, but like it feels really like you're selling something, and the whole point of what I'm trying to do is like
cliffhangers.
Yeah.
What about just making it a cliffhanger?
I do love a cliffhanger. I've done one or two. I don't think it's mattered, but I have. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's something like I gotta try. That's another thing is with social media, like people, most of the stuff I feel so stupid doing, but nobody cares. You gotta get out of your own head.
Just doing stuff that you like.
Yeah.
And then hopefully.
Yeah.
Something will click. Like you were talking about the hardcore band.
Yeah.
You like, right?
That was just something that I liked. It was just a small little hardcore band from 15 years ago. Something funny happened about it. I talked about it. Blew up. So you never know.
Yeah, so just do that. And then, the manipulating could be, well, when's the best time to put it out? What are the best hashtags? But you're not creating content that you don't want to create.
Yeah.
Because then you're just going to, like I love playing video games, but I don't like streaming, because I'm like, well, video games are like my escape, my me time.
Yeah. Then you're turning it into a job.
And then it's like, you hear all these horror stories, like, oh, here I am streaming. I don't really want to be right now. They're being real to their audience.
Did you hear that T-Pain makes more money streaming than he does with music right now? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
I love T-Pain. There was a brief time during the pandemic where I was like, well, T-Pain's streaming. Could I do this? And I got a Switch. And I was like, I wonder if anybody's going to watch me play Animal Crossing. They aren't. They won't. We'll never know. I'm not going to do it. But pandemic was a weird time.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Animal Talking?
No.
It was this guy that I've followed through this channel. His name is Gary Whitta, and he like started this they would be in Animal Crossing, and then that was the video, and then the audio was them interviewing people.
Wait, what?
Yeah, exactly. Wait, what? And like, he like he's wrote movies, and stuff, so he's a little bit of a celebrity. And then it's like, oh well, why did Nintendo, like usually is very sue happy, like why didn't they do anything? It's like because the people in Nintendo liked it.
Yeah, it's free advertising.
They didn't do anything about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got some pretty famous people to be on it.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I would love that. I should. Animal Talking?
Animal Talking.
Doing it. Yep.
It's very, I only watched a little bit of it because it's like just a curiosity. I didn't play Animal Crossing or anything.
Oh, I played it. I played it a lot.
Yeah, I'm really into No Man's Sky. I keep going back to it. It didn't start off as a live service game, but now they have like they have expeditions or.
Is that a PC game?
PC or it's on the Switch even.
Oh.
Yeah. And PlayStation and Xbox.
Yeah, I'm going through Breath of the Wild right now again. I got a lot of time on my hands.
Sure. What about the second one?
Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did that last year. That was last year's game. This is actually the first time I'm playing Breath of the Wild. I just skipped it entirely.
Wow. Yeah, I beat that one, but I'm like Tears of the Kingdom, there's something, it's like I want to do everything even though I want to also finish it, so it's like this weird thing.
Yeah.
And it's probably never going to finish it.
Well, honestly, it should have just been an expansion pack. It's the same game with more stuff.
Right.
Like some of the challenges are exactly the same.
Right. Well, the underground is like to find all those.
All the shrines.
Yeah. All the.
But they mirror the ones above them. So if you're trying to locate them all, you just flip through the map.
Yeah. Definitely helps. Yeah, it is good.
I'm glad you understand.
Of course. Exactly. Yeah. So sometimes I think, then my excuse to not stream right now is like I'm getting free internet everywhere I've been. I'm getting free internet, but the downside is it's never really feel like it's fast enough to like stream. You know? Like.
Yeah, that does take a lot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my excuse.
Yeah, and you got to have like a whole setup. Like you can't just be in your house.
I mean, you don't, but you definitely get pushed that way if it takes off. But that's the good thing. You can I could stream on PS5,
Really?
And it just, you don't have to have a computer and all these fancy things. You don't even have to have a camera on you. Although I did get the PS5 camera, but then now something happened to it. It doesn't work. I guess it broke.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, it sucks because I bought it on day one.
What?
I don't know why. I just was like, I got a PS5. Let's buy a camera too. I guess I was thinking, because it's streaming.
You're going to stream.
I was going to stream, and then I just never did. And then it worked at first, but then I plugged it in years later, and it didn't work.
Well,
technology.
I guess you can't stream now. Dream's dead.
Exactly. All these barriers. Yep. Okay, so probably should wrap it up eventually.
Sure.
Might as well be around about now. What's the best way for the public to get a hold of you?
Probably my socials. That would be TikTok and Instagram at Chrissy Tehes, ChrissysYTehes. I never said it out loud when I took those handles, and now I say it out loud all the time, and it feels real dumb.
Well, there you go. You can always change it.
Oh,
please don't.
It's too late. It's Chrissy Tehes. That's what I do. I Tehes. And you might Tehes too, but there's no guarantee.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much for doing the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a total bucket list moment.
Yay. Okay, that's been Comedy or Worse. Bye.
Bye.